Hey, 2002 Tacoma here, having a problem where the key wouldn't come out of the ignition, and I've been playing with this bugger for a while, trying to figure it out, hoping that I can save somebody else a little bit of the puzzling and headache of this. Everybody online says, oh, just replace the blue bushings in the shift linkage here. Okay, that's great. Yep, it's easy. If you buy this kit, you end up getting one and you actually need four. So don't buy any kit with less than four, because there's one on each side there. And then there is also, you can see just that blue down there. There's another set up front at the front of the shift linkage, which a lot of web pages and forums don't mention. So you got four of those bushings. That still doesn't solve the problem. You keep digging deeper and you start finding out about this this switch that has this little linkage in here that pushes down when you depress the shifting knob to get it out of park. To get it out of park, you also have to have your foot on the brake pedal, because there's this little guy here that's got a little finger that pokes out in there and blocks this linkage that slides up and down in here. Sorry, my camera's going out of focus. Okay, so figured all that stuff out, got a new one of these guys, pulled out the other one, which was genuinely blasted. Here's the old one. It's got a crack in it there. Looking at the inside was all chewed up, and that really gave me something to think about, like, wow, why did that get all chewed up like that? And I'm looking at it and checking this out, and there's a lot of play in this pin that engages with that hook. A lot of play, and it slides back and forth, back side to side. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get that pin out. You can take the whole shift handle off. You can see there's a little plastic housing in here that's called like the wire shift linkage wire carrier or something like that, because it brings these wires up that go to your overdrive switch. And then this is what's activated by that thumb button to get out of park. That pushes down on this rod that goes through the middle. Here, let me back up a little bit. That pushes down on the rod that goes through the middle and activates that. So let me just move that just so you can see. Okay, that guy's going to go up and down like that. But there's too much play in that thing. Even with the brand new switch in there, there's too much play in this little pin here. And right now, it's in there solidly because there's a puzzle I'm about to give you my solution for. But that's related to the play in this thing here. And then, so I tried to figure out how to get that apart, how to put some kind of bushing or shim around this thing so there's less play in that thing, so that pin fully stays engaged with this hole in the linkage and can drive this thing up and down, because otherwise this goes up. The brake activator thing pops up under there, and it won't let you shift out of park, and it won't let you get your key out when you at the end. You can't this doesn't lift up here, so it doesn't let you take your key out of the ignition. Okay, I'm kind of losing the plot here and yapping too much. After a lot of puzzling and taking this thing apart and trying to figure out how to get a new shim in here to keep this thing from having so much play, which is probably the right thing to do, I ended up just giving, and that pin that's in there, I still haven't figured out how that pin is locked into the linkage that goes down. Let's look at it from the other side here, and there it is. There you can see that pin in there. There's that pin going up and down, and I'm going to push it from the other side to show you that play. You can see how much sticks out on that side. Let's see here. I'll just do it from this side. Well, my finger's on it, so you can't see. Oh, here, if I do it from the top, you can see. Well, yeah, it's enough that it eats up that that parking brake sensor, or park position sensor switch, whatever that guy is called there. Park position sensor, something along those lines. I'll try to put that in the comments better. All right, here's what I did in the end. I took some channel locks, big old channel locks, grabbed onto this linkage here that holds that parking let switch sensor, and I took the play out of the system so that that pin gets into there by just giving this like a, let's say 3/32, you know, maybe, you know, just a little bit less than an 1/8 bend by grabbing it on there, pushing that over. It shouldn't matter. This has just got these keyholes that that pin locks into. When it sticks there, it sticks against that little keyhole there. That's what keeps you from going into park without intentionally pushing down the button on the top of the shifter. And then this senses when it has pushed down far enough to come out of it and go into your other gear positions. And then those gears are sent down through this linkage down to your transmission. Long story short, give this guy a little tweak to the side so that you can essentially take some of the play out of that system. That pin will still engage in this, and that way you deal with the issue of not being able to get your key out of the ignition, which seems to be a pretty common problem for Tacomas and is not entirely fixed.